So you've just finished building your Wix site and it's looking fantastic and you're ready to launch and you're so relieved and you're ready to go and move forward, and you look at it on your phone and it doesn't look anything like it does on your laptop or your desktop, and you just want to bang your head down against your desk. What do you do? Well, today we are going to fix that, and we're going to make your website look terrific on your phone as well. So here I am in the desktop editor for this website, and you can see there's normal elements. There's a logo and a call to action, a menu. There is a video at the top. So from the main editor, I'm going to access the mobile editor from this little button that's up here. So you've got your desktop here and your switch to mobile, edit your site for mobile. So we're going to click on there, and we're just going to have a look around for a moment and see what's different, aside from the fact that the website's very skinny. You've got your switch pages still up here, same as before, and you've got add to mobile. So you have a few things here, not as many as in desktop. So you can add text, image, button, some of the same things that you can add on the desktop. And what this means is when you add things here, you're adding things onto the mobile version and they won't show on the desktop. Down from there, we've got menus and pages. So from here, if you click on the little dot here, you can hide on mobile. So you can make it so that not all your pages are showing on mobile, different from what's showing on desktop. And you can also change mobile settings, take the header or footer off, which also takes the mobile menu off as well. Not sure why you'd want to use that, but sometimes you never know what's going to come in handy. So that's about it for here. And then going from there, you can change the background to the pages. And then we'll come down to this in a bit. This is a quick action bar that you can use to let people email you and telephone you very quickly. You have the back to the top button, which as you can see is checked off on here, and that is showing down here. So this is different from the back to the top button on the website. This is just showing up on the mobile. Welcome screen. This is a screen that shows, I have no idea what the purpose of the welcome screen is. You want your visitor to get to your site as quickly as humanly possible, so I see no reason to put a welcome screen. The browser theme color is kind of cool. Visit your site, live site using Chrome for Android, and so I always put this in here. I don't use Android, I don't use Chrome on my phone even. Let's put that on. Let's see, let's put it on. This one for those that do. So here is an old mock-up of a yoga site that I built, and I'm just going to show you how to use this tool here, the quick action bar. And I don't think I've not added a back to the top button on there, so I just added that on. And you can move this around. You can move it from one side to the other. You can change the design colors on it, so I could make this green if I wanted to, for example, but I think I'm going to, keep it gray. And then over here, back into the mobile tools, I'm going to add the quick action bar. And now I've got this little strip down at the bottom, and it is showing me Facebook, mail, and telephone right now. So what I can do, more actions here. Here are all the things I can put down there. So if I had a restaurant and I wanted people to be able to leave me a review on Yelp, I could put that. I could put, links to Instagram, and I'm not sure why I'd want to have people going off my website onto social media. And I think people don't think about that often enough, that you really don't want people leaving your website to go to social media. You want them to answer the call to action on your website to call you or buy something or do something like that. So what we're going to add the address, and I'm going to take off the Facebook, and you can also add a contact form, which is kind of interesting, but you'd also have a contact form on your website, so you don't really need that there. Now I'm going to click on the ... next to the phone number, set that up. Okay, there's the phone number set up, the email, and let's put a subject line in there. And that's done. And then the address. And that will go to a Google map if somebody clicks on that. All right, so I've added those things down in there. I'm going to exit out of here and we're going to look at the design. So I have options here. I can make this over on the right side. I can make it all black at the bottom. Here are the different options. Let's see what we've got for custom design. Yes, if I remember correctly, you can't just make it your website colors. You've got gray, black, and white, and the colors that they have on here, which don't really go with this website. I'd probably just do the gray. And let's see what invert color scheme does. That goes with gray with white. I kind of like that actually. And one other thing I want to mention is when you put this over where we have it right now, sometimes your back to the dot button will get stuck behind the quick action bar, this link to the quick action bar. So if that happens, if you ever know you've got a back to the top button on your website and you can't see it anywhere, but you've got a quick action bar like this there, you can right click on the quick action bar and look at the overlapping items, and you'll see the back to the top button in this list of what's underneath the quick action bar. And you can go move the back to the top button over the other side or something like that. So we're going to go back in here. I'm going to change the design back to this and custom design it to the grayscale. All right, and then going into preview, so your website will look like this on mobile, and it will always have this little bar at the bottom so people can call you, email, or see where you are immediately. And depending on what your business is, this might be really useful to you. If your number one call to action is for people to call you or make a, book a call with you or get a free call with you or something like that, this might be really useful to you. If you have a restaurant or something where people are coming to where you are, or a yoga studio like this where people are coming to your business, you're not just online, you are brick and mortar, you might want to have this link to the map. And that's it for this toolbar down here, except for this last one, hidden on mobile. And this is where we're going to find things that we might take off of the mobile or hide on the mobile. So for example, if I click on this button here and I click this little hide element, it's going to show in here. There it is. Anything I take off the mobile version, it puts it on this list here. So if I want to, I can put it back. And there it is back again. So very useful. What I like to start off with first is the header. And so we've got the logo sitting here. We've got his book an appointment here, and then the telephone number. We've got 2 columns on the live site, on the desktop site, I should say. And we don't really need 2 columns on mobile. So usually I pull the first column down and I kind of put everything together. Pull the first column down again, telephone number. So everything's in the top column, and column number 2, I'm going to hide. Okay, so then we've got I'm going to pull this up. So we've got the header all together and not in 2 separate columns like it is on the desktop site. And we have all the information in here. Let's talk about this menu up here. I'm going to click on this menu. Here's what we're opening up to here. So I've got the menu box, which is the background of the menu page basically. And I've got the mobile menu in the middle here. I can manage menu. Now, first of all, I'm going to take off these old pages because they're not visible on the desktop site. They're just showing up on the mobile site right now. This is what we want. We want home, services, meet your therapist, FAQ, and contact us. Now, obviously we can see that meet your therapist isn't fitting in here. So I'm going to pull that wider. I could also have made the font smaller as well. All right, so I've got that centered. So manage menu is this, navigate is this. It's going from one page to the other. And this is advanced settings for an advanced menu. And we're not going to talk about that today. We're just going to leave it as a simple menu right now. Layout is whether you want it to justify right, left, or center. And also, if you have a sub menu, there's a little arrow that shows down, and you can show the arrow on the right or the left, but we don't have any drop downs here. And then design will be the text colors. So I'm going to change the text colors. Actually, we'll do one other thing first. I'm going to click on the whole menu, and I'm going to change the background of the menu box. And let's make it an image. And we'll just use this one for the moment. Change the background. Just want that to be sort of a feeling for the menu. So I'm going to really change the opacity on the image. Then I'm going to go into the menu and go into the design. And I'm going to make the background transparent there. Then I'm going to go into the text and make the text white. There we go. And let's make the selected page bright green, and the sub menu, if we ever decide to have one, bright green. So that's what our menu looks like. Let's go into preview. And that's what the menu is going to look like. And that's kind of cool looking. So we're going to go back to the editor. One more thing we need to do, obviously, is fix the background on this little icon here. So we're going to edit the design of that. And we're going to customize this design here. And this is closed. And this is open. And we're going to take off the background of this. And we're going to make the icon itself white. Let's preview. There we go. So that looks pretty good, pretty cool. Okay, so we've got the header. I'm going to make this a little wider because I'd like to have a little more space on the side of these words. If you're doing this and you want to move this around, but you want to move it just a little bit, you can use your up and down arrows to just move it a tiny little bit if you want to. Sometimes it's hard to take your mouse and drag it around when you just want to move it a tiny little bit. So use the up down arrow for that. All right, going down from here, I'm going to go right to the bottom and we're going to do the footer. So here's the footer, and we're going to take down the copyright. If you select the text and hover over this plus and negative font size, you can see what size the font is. So right now it's 11 points. You can also click on the settings and you'll see the font size here, and you can change the color and you can change the alignment here. So you can change your font size, alignment, color inside the mobile editor. And again, and I'll say this a bunch of times, when you change that on mobile, it's not going to change on the desktop. The desktop is going to stay the way you put it. So we're going to just move. This is looking pretty not bad. I'm going to just make it shorter. And I want these buttons to be the same size. So that's not bad for the footer. So I'm going to go back up to the top. So I've got the header and the footer. Then I'm going to just go down the page. Now on the desktop version of the site, this is a video. So when I go into preview here, the video is playing there. But if you are in here and your video is not playing, click on the video. So on the section where the video is, and on the background here, and this box will pop up, and you just want to make sure this is clicked on over. Play video on mobile. That way your videos will play on mobile. It used to be that they never did, but now they do. And then we're just going to go down the page, and I'm going to move things around. I like to add a little bit more white space. Sometimes on mobile, things kind of get a little squished. We've got these 4 boxes here. I want to make sure they're all the same size. So I'm going to go up into Tools and I'm going to click Toolbar, drag this over here. So when I click on this strip or column, this is a strip with columns in it. So this column is 217 high. This column is 242. So let's make this one 242 as well. And then we're just gonna move the text around. So you're just basically adjusting everything in the mobile to make it look good. You can also, if your site is live, you can always have your live site on your phone and keep checking through it. I'm not gonna drive myself crazy trying to make all of these the same height. I don't think it matters. I think it matters more that the text all stays the same size and that they look designed more similarly. All right, so then we've got our therapist here, and that's all looking pretty good to me. I like to keep things about 16 for paragraphs on mobile. But again, you can go look at it on your phone and see what it looks like. And I'm gonna make this smaller because it's just this big long list. It's 17, let's make it 14. It's going to center that a little better. Let's make these a little further apart so that we can tell they're separate testimonials. I'm going to take this section, pull it down a little bit. So anytime you move something, and things like that happen all the time in mobile, you'll move something that you didn't mean to move. And rather than trying to drag it back to where it was, just click undo. So I think I have got this home page how I want it. So I'm going to go up to the top. I'm going to save it. So next thing, I'm going to move on to the services page. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go back into the desktop and remind myself what the page looks like on the desktop. So I've got a strip up here with a diagonal stripe in the strip with the title on it. There's a picture background here, and then I've got a strip here with 2 columns and this picture on one side and this text on the other. So let's remember that and go into the mobile. And this is the reason I did that, because I go into the mobile and it's like, you know, what was I trying to accomplish there? First of all, I'm going to move this up. This is really severe, this angle here. So let's see if we can custom design that a little bit and make the height on the shape divider a little lower. Let's bring it to 25. So that's cool. And then we've got this section here, and it looks to me like I'm missing some text. And there it is. I went into the hidden, and here is some text I'm missing. Okay, unleash the power. That was, for some reason, that just wasn't appearing on the mobile. I can't really see anything of this picture, so I'm going to make that smaller. Okay, so now I've got the picture. I've got the unleash the power here. I'm going to make that smaller. All right, now the other thing I don't like here is I don't like this picture right up at the top. So I want to switch around where the pictures are. I'm going to go, I clicked on the strip. This is the strip. I'm going to click Manage Columns, and I'm going to move them. I'm going to switch them around. There we go. So I like that much better. And then it goes into, this is a repeater. So anything I do on one of these will happen on all the others. I think I'm going to change them quite a bit. I'm going to center the topics. I'm going to make the text smaller, and I'm going to center the text. And I'm going to make the pictures smaller, and then drag up the bottom a little bit. So let's see how that looks down the page. I like that better. I also feel there's too much space in between all of these boxes. So I have to go into the, okay, there we go. So I'm in the repeater, the whole repeater, and right now there's 30 points between them. So now let's make it 10. There, that's better. So let's go into preview. And I'm liking this pretty well. Okay, then we've got another what our clients say. And what I did on the last page is what I'm going to do on this page. So you're just going to keep on through the pages doing the same thing and just figuring out how you want things to look. It's really up to you. If you like the way something looks centered, it's just kind of a design choice. What should happen is you should be looking at your mobile editor while you're building your website and not waiting till the very end to check out what it looks like on the phone. So what I suggest is that you start building the site and you maybe get a page done or you get the header and the footer done, and then you start looking at it on mobile. And every couple of pages or so, you check it out on mobile and make sure that you know what's going on. Now, I'll tell you, I forget to do this all the time. It's really common. I'll start building a website and I'll get really caught up in building the website and designing it and the colors and the pictures and moving things around and making it look gorgeous that I'll totally forget about the mobile version. And I'll wait till the very end too. It's not uncommon. But if we want to make it easier on ourselves, start looking ahead of time, and that'll make it easier when you get to the end.